Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SoundCloud Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mostly Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook, coming soon, Missing 2, Double the Spence, Double the Fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by a Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 Quiz of Pains and King David Psalms, Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com and on Linktree at the Mike Wagner Show. 50 podcast platforms, 110 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, also Apple Music, BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube, and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and TikTok today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who is a multi-talented, rising bilingual singer-songwriter of Chicano rock, and he's a performer and a native of Eugene, Oregon, and Los Angeles. He does a Latin folk and rock as well. He toured solo on a motorcycle through Mexico and Central America. We'll talk about that. He performed with Metalachi, the Old 97s, and Teddy Thompson and more. He's got a new release, which is genre-defying album, playing Americana, Latin folk, rock and roll, and journey through loss, love, and rebirth with him, with 2 tracks under consideration for Grammy nominations. Talk about that with Beneath the Sand. Live, ladies and gentlemen, Plus Dudes in beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon. The amazing multi-talented, rising bilingual singer, songwriter, performer, and out of Portland, Oregon, with Beneath the Sand, multi-talented Joshua Josue. Joshua, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, it's great to be here, Mike.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Joshua. So you're a multi-talented, rising bilingual singer, songwriter, performer, doing Chicano rock, and you're native Eugene, Oregon, and Los Angeles. You've been doing Latin folk and rock for some time. You toured solo by motorcycle through Mexico and Central America. You perform with Metalachi, the Old 97s, Teddy Thompson, and more. You have a new release, which is genre-defying album, blending Americana, Latin folk, rock and roll, and journey through loss, love, rebirth, with 2 of the tracks under consideration for Grammy nominations. Your album is called Beneath the Sand. We'll be playing one of the tracks at the end of the audio interview. We want everybody to check that out. Before getting to Joshua, tell us how you first got started.
Well, I when I was a kid, I saw that movie La Bamba.
Oh, my favorite! My goodness, yes, that is my favorite. That was the star Lou Diamond Phillips, and I'm thinking maybe I'm talking Lou Diamond Phillips right here. You look like him just about.
Well, that's quite a compliment. No, I saw that movie when I was young, and after I saw the movie, I had to get a guitar. I went to the record store and bought Richie Valens records and started learning to play the guitar, which led me to start learning Buddy Holly songs too. And that's where I got my start, was in high school playing Richie Valens tunes.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing! And too bad I was hoping you say he didn't die in a plane crash just to be like it, but that was just a great movie, though. Just a great inspiration for me, starring, working his way up and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I've been such a lifelong fan of Richie Valens since then. That's where I got my start, and been to visit Richie's grave a few times and do a Richie Valens tribute every year here in Portland.
Oh, nice. Okay. And what was it one other exact precise moment that simply influenced you into what you do in the rest of your career besides watching La Bamba? What was that other moment that simply said, this is what I'm going to do?
When I was about 14, I had a guitar, me and a friend, and we were skipping school, and we were downtown Eugene, and we were at the Smith Family Bookstore, and they have musicians play there sometimes, and so we had our guitars, and we asked if we could play. They said yes. We played for 45 minutes. They paid us 20 bucks, and I thought, you know what, I think this is something I want to do. Play music, get paid a little bit of money. Yeah, that just kind of sold me on the deal.
There you go. And I think that's a really good idea what you're doing. You're off to a great start. And who are some of your favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up, Joshua?
Oh, favorite singer
Besides
songwriter.
Richie Valens.
No, besides Richie Valens, I mean, I'm a big Los Lobos fan, Vicente Fernandez, and Johnny Cash.
Excellent. Excellent. I love Vicente and Johnny all together. Amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, Vicente's album Para Siempre, and those songs are all written by Juan Sebastian and performed by Vicente Fernandez, and that's probably one of my biggest inspirations for songwriting. I don't sing like Vicente, but I can try.
Well, maybe one day you will with one of your releases, but
Yeah.
you're becoming a legend yourself. And look into that with Beneath the Sand. You got two tracks under consideration for the Grammys. We'll get to that with Joshua Josue. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. It's powered by SoundCloud Studios. Visit online at soundcloudstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking a budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1 800 303 3960. It's 1 800 303 3960 or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia. If you love fast paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those will love you to first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson Z has got great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for It Goes Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon. Coming soon, Missing 2, Double Expense, Double the Fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by a Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of Dave, including 30 exquisite pains and King David's Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote, and as the time of shepherd started, and complicated yet turbulent relationship with King Saul. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. 50 podcast platforms, 110 countries. Also on Linktree at the Mike Wagner Show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and our platforms: Spreaker, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeart, Apple Music, BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, and more. And don't forget to take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/me and Molson Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. And support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with amazing multi-talented, rising bilingual singer, songwriter, and performer out of Portland, Oregon, with Chicano rock, Joshua Josue on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we get to talk about Beneath the Stand, you performed with Metalachi, Old 97s, Teddy Thompson, and more. And tell us about those.
Well, last this spring we did a West Coast tour and Northwest tour with Metalachi. They're I don't know if you've heard them or not, but they do heavy metal covers, but they're a mariachi band. So
wow.
Yeah,
Heavy metal mariachi covers. It sounds like Metallica, doesn't it?
yes, well, they do cover Metallica, they cover Guns N' Roses, they cover some Ozzy, and they are so much fun to be on the road with. We would play the shows, hang out after the shows, probably drink too much tequila. It was a little bit challenging keeping up with those guys. By the time we got to Bellingham, I was probably 6 days into a hangover, perpetual hangover. So,
oh my gosh,
we're I think we might be going out with them next spring and gonna probably rein it in a little bit, focus more on the music and less on the tequila.
Well, you know something? Isn't that supposed to let someone's dress down or something like that? I think that's what it does.
Yeah, so that was a wonderful tour playing with them and the Old 97s. I've toured off and on with them since I was in my early 20s, and they're really great friends and been a real inspiration, and also help me get this record out too. So.
Okay, and plus Teddy Thompson, some of the others you've worked
Yeah.
or appear with.
Yeah, so Teddy Thompson, I just did a short stint with him in the Pacific Northwest. And yeah, those are the main gigs we've done openers for. Most of the time I'm out on my own as the featured act, but I'm always very appreciative when I can get on a larger stage with larger acts.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And I think that's really interesting as well, too. And plus, a bit more with Beneath the Stand from Joshua Josue on the Mike Wagner Show. We'll be covering some of the tracks as well, too. But you got a separate one that you have on Spotify as well. It's called Bogart and Mia. And tell us about that one.
Yeah. So Bogart, I guess the listeners can't see it, but you can see his tail in there. He's
Oh, that's him. Okay.
yeah, so,
Not the Humphrey version. Hi, Bogart.
yeah. So he's named after Humphrey Bogart. He's a rescue that we found out on the boulevard about 3 years ago. And Yeah, he's just become my best friend. So, I was heading out to the studio to record this album, pretty nervous about it. And I was thinking, like, it's a lot of weight to go do this album and a lot of stress. And Bogart was with me. And I was like, I got this, I don't want to sound cliche, but my best friend, my dog, with me. And he's, been all supportive. And so I sat down one evening, and in about 10 minutes I wrote this song about Bogart and I driving out through the desert, heading to the recording studio, and that's how the song Bogart and Me came about.
We know something too that you did some motorcycle ventures as well. You toured solo by motorcycle through Mexico and Central America. That had to be an experience.
Yeah, so I think I've traveled 27 states in Mexico, and which is most if not all of them on my motorcycle. And then I bartended in Guadalajara for a while, met a girlfriend down there, and then we both went to Tulum. And then after that breakup and some other life-changing events, I just got on my bike and went into Central America, took my guitar, played bars and places that maybe I shouldn't have been so much, but met a lot of cool people and gave me a lot of inspiration for songwriting. And
Oh.
I always figure if I can be on my motorcycle, it's never a bad day. If I can be out on my bike, I'm fine.
Mhm. And plus, too, that also some of the songs from Beneath the Sand. That, by the way, let's get to where you've got the two tracks in there are under consideration for Grammy nominations, and tell us about those.
Oh, well, so we've got the song La Chica Me Cantó, which is a bilingual song, means, the girl she sang to me. And it's roughly inspired by the Odyssey. So the woman in the song's name is Sarina Bonita, the beautiful siren. But it's about, meeting a woman in Mexico, my girlfriend at the time, kind of about meeting her and getting on my motorcycle and traveling. So I wrote this bilingual song about meeting her in a small town and when we took off on the bike through Mexico. And that's up for best alternative Latin rock song, I think is the category on that one. And then we've got a songwriting, excuse me, we have we're in the category for best songwriter in the Americana category. And that's
Oh,
with one of my favorite songwriters, a guy named Rolly Sally, who already won a Grammy for writing the song Beneath the Sand. And Robert
uh,
Plant and Alison Krauss recorded his song along with John Prine, and he won a Grammy. And so he contributed to the song, as did local blues artist Ben Rice. So, so those are the two songs that are in consideration right now.
and you said that was Beyond the Sand. The title track is up for a Grammy nomination.
Yes, Beneath the Sand, the title track.
That is okay. Let me just make note of it as well too. So we'll be playing one of those songs as well. We encourage everybody to go to the audio interview version of the Mike Wagner Show with Joshua Josue as well too, and with Beneath the Sand as well too, and we'll get some of the songs. What was the inspiration behind Beneath the Sand as well too? The making of the album.
So, the song or the album?
Let's let's I'll let you choose in this one. No
Okay.
tequila necessary.
All right, all right. So I had been writing some songs in Latin America, through Central America. I had some ideas of songs, but nothing completed. And over the years, I'd gotten to know some of my music heroes, such as Rolly Sally, that the songwriter, and he also plays bass in the Chris Isaac band, and Mitch from the Dwight Yoakam band, and Steve Berlin from Los Lobos. So I had this. Knew this crew of guys that I really admired and had been listening to my whole life. And I thought, I think I'm ready to put out a debut album here. I'd done albums with other bands. So I reached out to these guys and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about recording in a couple months. Would you be game to record on my album?" And surprisingly, everyone got back to me that afternoon, said, "Yeah, we'd love to, that we've got the time free." So I told my partner this, and she says, that's great, but do you have any songs completed?" I was like, no, I don't. So I sat down
Honey,
and
you right. I'll give you tequila, but you right. Bogart, you right too.
yeah, thankfully for Bogart, we got such a wonderful track from him on the album. But yeah, so I sat down, I started kicking out the tunes over the course of a couple months and went in and recorded it. and we recorded out in the Mojave Desert in this studio that's called Goat Mountain Recording Studio, owned by Pat Kearns, and he also produced it. But it's just like it is in the middle of nowhere near Joshua Tree. It's solar powered.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're out there, and it's this beautiful studio because it's got big windows in it. We can open up the doors, so we're not locked in, the traditional studio cavern. And we recorded these songs out in this great atmosphere where you'd see jackrabbits out there, road runners and lizards. We even saw a rattlesnake.
Oh, nice. I love to see a road runner. Hopefully, I don't get chased by a coyote out there.
Right. So yeah, so we recorded out there and spent about 10 days recording the album. But the day before we started recording and I was flying out there, I Ben Rice, the one of the guitar players on the album, we sat down and started writing an idea for a song. And we're just bouncing around ideas and started singing Beneath the Sand. And it didn't have a real context to it, but we had a little bit of structure for the song, had some placeholder lyrics. And when we got to the studio at the end of the day, I turned to Rolly Sally and I said, "Hey, I started this song last night with Ben. I was wondering, if you would help me finish it, because I really admire you as a songwriter." He's like, "Yeah." So he was staying in a little cabin out there. Myself, Ben, and Rolly got some beer. We sat down and started just playing these chords and singing stuff, and I was trying really hard to direct the song, like I think it should go this way, I'm not sure what it's about. And Rolly's inspiration was just sing whatever's coming out of you, don't think about it.
Oh,
So
wow.
we just start kind of I just start singing these lyrics, and over the course of about an hour and a half or so, this song just took shape into a very beautiful song that I wasn't trying to write anything autobiographical. I wasn't trying to write anything about anything really, but it ended up turning into a song about dealing with some grief that I had that I didn't realize that I was still dealing with. My father had died unexpectedly, and I took off to Central America on my motorcycle for that, but kind of thought, hey, I dealt with that. But then we ended up writing this really beautiful song about dealing with grief, moving forward, and I was like, holy cow, how did this song just come out of nowhere? And I think that was a really amazing thing that Rolly Sally brought to the table was just, hey, just sing whatever's in there. Don't think about it. Don't sing it from your head. Sing it from your heart and sing it from your gut, and whatever needs to be said will be said.
I think that's a really good formula as well. Too many people think that's why I get headaches, and of course, less stomach aches, more less headaches and everything like that. But you also have restless heart. You also have solitario, and we already did title track. We did La Chica, and I'm just going through the list here.
Yeah.
Talk about restless heart, solitario, and El Celibato. So hopefully I don't
Oh,
botch it up. So
oh yeah, no, you sound great. So Restless Heart, that is really an ode to my motorcycle days. It's bilingual, it's in English and Spanish, but it sings about riding on the Baja Peninsula, and that I really feel at my best when I'm alone. Like I don't need a lot of people around me. I can be on my motorcycle in the middle of the desert, and I'm never lonely when I'm out there. If I've got my bike and I can be on an open road and I see the stars at night, I'm a happy person. And there's a little spot in there that says in it's in Spanish, but put a little part in there for my mom that says, peace to my mom, like God grant her peace because I know she hates that I do this sort of thing. It stresses her out.
well, she's think about right now, smiling and everything like that. And plus, we also did Solitario as well. And tell us about that one.
Yeah, solitario. Solitario is
Solitario, I'm sorry.
yeah. No, that's cool. It's like it sounds solitario, like alone, and it just sings about it's a little more of a traditional Mexican song, inspired by the Old West and spaghetti Western music, and he's just singing about the character again. That's a bit autobiographical, singing about alone I've traveled on my horse because I want to be with you, and I wrote that for my girlfriend at the time as I was traveling through Latin America, that I'd ride all night just because I want to be next to her. And it's worth it to spend 16 hours riding through the desert so I know that I'm in bed with her that night. So solitario, alone, I travel, and my horse is my motorcycle.
That is fascinating. And plus, El Silbato as well. And about that one.
Yeah. So El Silbato, I always thought, I thought to myself, what would like a traditional old school macho Mexican guy write? I hear these boleros that sing about very like macho drinking and women that want me. So I wrote this song from that standpoint about a guy who's trying to get back to Mexico, and he's singing, "When I get back to my town, I'm gonna, all the women are gonna want me, but you're the woman that I want. Um, I'm gonna play my guitar. I'm gonna drink tequila, sing songs by Vicente Fernandez, and it's gonna." That's the dream of my life in that song. But the problem is a guy for some reason can't get across the border, and he hears a train whistle, which is silbato, the whistle. And whenever he hears that train, he thinks about the day he's going to get back to his town and have that big party. I,
Yeah, something like that. Well, speaking of trains, you got the big train as well.
yeah, so motorcycles, trains, those are, the desert. I love the imagery of those things. And, Big Train. That was the one song I started years ago when I was much, much younger and just singing about leaving town, going through a heartbreak and wanting to, and I thought if I could just get on a freight train, I could leave this heartbreak behind. When I'd gone through a breakup with my girlfriend, I thought, I see that train going. If I could just get on a train, then I would be going somewhere and leave the depression, leave the heartbreak behind. And funny thing is, I actually did after, I had that idea. I did jump on a freight train here in Portland and rode it out to Wyoming. And
How do you like
so
that?
yes,
That was a really cool
yeah,
idea. I never thought of it.
yeah. And then we got off the train in Wyoming, and then I hitchhiked back to Portland.
You just want to see what it's like. Okay, I'm in Wyoming. I'm gonna come back now. So
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's like, what is it like to jump a freight train? So I did that.
there you go. And I think you can write a song about that. And plus, we'll cover a few more songs besides, writing about the breakup of your girlfriend, riding on your motorcycle. What else do you base your lyrics on when it comes to your music?
Most of it, I try not to write about being in love. And so I don't know what most of it's about, but I try not to sing too much about being in love. I take a lot of inspiration from the open desert and the open highway and whatever comes to me out there. And very often, yeah, it does have motorcycles, trains, highways, stars, but yeah, desert highways, dive bars. I just like the atmosphere of those places, and I do my best to write songs that encapsulate the feelings that I feel when I'm in those places.
Certainly did as well too. And plus, you got Cartas de Amor as well, and more about that one.
Cartas de Amor is about that's one of the songs I wrote or excuse me, let me repeat that. I did not write. It's from Enrique Bunveri. It's the one cover on the album, and that song is originally done in Spain Spanish, and I do it, and it's just that is a bit of a love song about a guy who's in love with a woman. He writes her these letters, but knows that she won't even pay attention to them. And he's, singing like, I've got these love letters, but there's no love there. But we started that song out as kind of a country western song. And
Hmm
Mitch Marine, the drummer, was like, hey, I've got an idea. Let's make it a little more unique. We have a lot of country western ideas. So, so we start out with that drum beat and, me singing along just with the drums. And that was really Mitch Marine's idea.
And certainly is as well too. And plus, you got Plaza Expiatorio, and about that one.
Yeah, so Plaza Expiatorio it's an actual plaza in Guadalajara, Mexico, and that's where I met my girlfriend that I had my ex-girlfriend in Mexico was in Plaza Expiatorio, and that song is about a guy you know, who it's about a guy who gets involved with the wrong group of people down there, the cartels, and
Oh,
ends up ends up being unalived, by the end of the song, but his girlfriend never really knows what happens to him. And at the end of the song, you can hear him sing that, she doesn't know where I'm at, but I'm with her every day, and if she listens, she can hear my whisper in the wind.
and certainly did as well too. And of course, one more track being about Guadalajara and the woman as well. We'll get to that with Joshua Josue from Beneath the Sand. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Missing, the sweet psalm special Raina Wagner, based life of David Queen, theories, quiz of pains, and King David Psalms, Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Summer Serena Wagner. We'll be back with the multi talented, rising bilingual singer Joshua Josue of Beneath the Sand after this time out. We're back to the amazing multi-talented Joshua Josue on the Mike Wagner Show with Beneath the Sand, and one of the songs being up for a Grammy nomination, and we'll be playing the other song up for a Grammy nomination at the end of the audio interview. And of course, we did talk about Guadalajara and everything like that. And you got the last one, which is She Is Guadalajara, and a bit about that one.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I try not to write songs too much about being in love, and but and I'm like, what kind of twist could I put on this? And Guadalajara is, I love that city. My heart lives there. I lived there for a long time, and I'm always wanting to go back. So I thought about what if I wrote a love song, not to a woman or to a person, but what if I wrote it about a city? And so She Is Guadalajara is about the city. It's my love song to that city. And, it sings in there, sometimes I wonder why I ever said goodbye because I sit back and like, I love that place so much. Why did I ever leave? And, yeah, that's the love song to the city. And, I guess, part of it is it says she'll always be free. She doesn't need to change. So that city will go on living. It'll have new experiences. New people will live there. And I'm the one that will change over time. And someday I'll be long gone. But that city will always be there. And it will always have a special place in my heart. And I will always have such a strong love for it.
And you got to stroll along for just about everything as well, Joshua. And if there's other music we haven't covered, feel free to talk about as well.
No, I mean, this is my debut album, so I don't have too many things. I am working on a new batch of songs. I had this idea, I mentioned that I really like Buddy Holly and Richie Valens, and I'm getting ready to record a new album, and I'm taking the songs that Richie Valens didn't complete before he died, along with some of the songs that Buddy Holly didn't complete that he did on the apartment takes, and I am working on finishing versions of those songs so that they can be completed versions. And I'm recording
Oh,
those and going to release those next year.
oh, that's going to be fascinating. We'd love to have you back on, paying tribute to Richie Valens and Buddy Holly. Finish up those works. In the meantime, where can we find Beneath the Sand and all your works at, Joshua?
Spotify it's on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. If you want to find me personally, since my last name's a little hard to spell sometimes, if you go to labambajosh.com, you'll get to my webpage and it has links to my music and my merchandise and my social media.
And that's labambajosh.com.
Yeah, that's the easiest way.
Okay, all right. We got that down for you. So we're here with the amazing multi-talented Joshua Josue here on the Mike Wagner Show. We'd be playing one of his Grammy-nominated songs at the end of the audio interview. We want everybody to listen to that. And what else can we expect from you in 2025 and going into 2026 and beyond, Joshua?
Well, 2025, I'm doing my best to spend time on the road and share this album with people. And, I love the live, playing live. That's what I really, probably love most about the music industry is playing live. Mostly I'm here in the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast. If our record label is very small, so we don't have a huge amount of resources, but I'm looking to get out there with bigger artists as an opener. So I'm going to round out my 25 just touring with this album, and then 26 starts and I hit the road again on the West Coast and Pacific Northwest doing my Richie Valens tribute, and we'll be releasing that new album with the completed Richie Valens Buddy Holly songs. And also this spring planning on hitting the road again with Metalachi.
That would be fascinating. So keep us up to date on that one, Joshua. Who do you consider biggest influence in the career?
Wow, there's so many people. We touched on Richie Valens and Buddy Holly already. Those are the biggest. Old 97s, even though they're friends of mine, love Rhett Miller's songwriting. I think Rhett Miller is probably one of the greatest songwriters of all time. So he's a big influence on my songwriting. The classics, Johnny Cash, another one that might come out of left field is Social Distortion. I grew up listening to Southern California, SoCal punk rock and listening to Social D. And Mike Ness's songwriting has been a pretty big influence on me as well. And I recently saw them in concert and was extremely impressed. First time I'd ever seen them.
Very nice. That'd be a great one as well. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Read Henry Rollins' book, Get in the Van.
Get in the Van. I like that one. I remember playing some Henry Rollins back in the day. He was in Who's Could Do. And I remember he was in Liar as well. That was fascinating.
Yeah, yeah. So that'd be my advice is read that book. It gives a pretty good view of what it's like to be on the road. But I would just say if advice I would give is do what you love. If you like writing music, if you like performing, do it because you love it. Don't do it for, money, fame, or meeting sexy people or anything. Just do it because you really like it.
Uh-huh. And that's really good advice as well. Here at the multi-talented Joshua Josue of Beneath the Sand here on the Mike Wagner Show. Joshua, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Glad to have you back. And what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your music?
Um, like I said, labambajosh.com is the best way to purchase my music. Find me. If you are comfortable with looking up joshuajosue.com, that'll take you to the same place. And on Instagram, I'm Joshua Josue Music.
That's fascinating. We'll be looking forward to that. Once again, Joshua, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Glad to have you back. We wish you all best. And Joshua, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Oh, thank you, Mike.